Hey guys, so I know I did the beats that look like this in the tutorial already, but after I did this, and this was my first try, I ended up giving it another go, and I chanced upon this look, and I also really like this as well. It's a little more defined and less loose than this. And so I figured, let me just do a really quick demonstration on how you can get this effect. And it was so simple, and it just looks a lot more realistic than this. And mind you, they both look, you get the idea, you know what it is. But I just really love the deep, rich colors in this one. So I'm going to show you another way or another technique to get them a little more defined. So let me just do that really quickly. And then I'm going to just use the same video to go into my next quick tutorial on this series of the Valentine's Day / Love Day things to paint, or, you know, creating your own cards or whatever, however you want to use this. Feel free. I'm just using it as a Valentine's Day kind of themed series. Yes. All right. So this is what we're going to try and do right now. And I'm just going to be using my brushes 8 and 4 in the silver black velvet. And I'll be using my red, the black, a yellow, and a light green. Okay, I'm going to take out this nasty bandaid because it just looks terrible on the video. Just going to own that as well instead of ignoring it, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, our hands are so nice again without any nasty band-aids hanging off. All right. So really quickly, I'm cleaning my brushes, and I will take let's make use of this space and just use the bigger brush. And I'm going to start with the red. I'm just going to get some of the red on here. And then with a little more water in my brush, mix this some more. And then just freehand my way to get this. Let me do it off to the side so then I can do the pears on the side for you right after. Okay, so you want to do a shape and just press down your brush really like an oval shape with a tapering edge at the bottom. And just use the tip as best as you can. I know sometimes it's hard to get a clean edge, but the beauty about these beets are that they're organic, and so you don't really have to have it looking perfectly round or clean edged. They can have the little bumps and whatnot in there because that's how they look. And I'm going to get a little more of my red and just dab it in so it blends in. Right there. And I'll make the tip or the root like a little bit bumpy. And now I'm going to use my black without really washing my brush, and I'm going to go in here. And I'm just going to spread it at the edges and let it blend in. And then I will also do some at the top because usually when you look at the beets, it has like a gradient of darks and lights. And now I'm going to go back into my red and just continue to dab it in. I'm taking more of the red. And you see how it gives you this dark burgundy-ish color, and you just kind of swish it around and just have it blend in well. And it does the rest of the job for you. So this is a deeper, darker look compared to what I had done previously. So really, I would say both work. It's really just a preference of what you prefer. And you can try both. I would suggest it. And then using the same brush, I'm going to do another one right here. And just a little more water in there and create my shape. And see how that blend happens? That's nice, isn't it? Do that here. More water. So we get that nice little blend. And you might not want to make this like a pear that attaches at the hip per se. And you might not want to give it this whole Valentine's Day cutesy look that I am aiming for here. And that's totally fine. You could just make it a pattern, if anything, and just do a bunch of randomly placed beets all over the place, and then make a pattern out of it. And that could also work really well, just because the colors are so vibrant and bright. I love it. It's the jewel colors, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so again, I'm taking the black and just putting it at the edges and then letting it swish around, letting it do its thing. And then if it wants to do this in the blend there, why not? Let's just see what kind of effect happens. And this I'm going to swish around as well. And then I'm going back into my red after doing the black, and I'm going to input some in there. So now it's more of a burgundy reddish color. It's fading from the black to the red. And then this is what we have. So yeah, so this is how I do that. And then lastly, what I will do is I'll take the really thin brush that I have, the number 4, and I'm going to go in. Let's see what happens with just no color on it. I'm just going to try and see if I do lines, what happens. Okay, it's still too wet for this. So I'm just going to take some of the red black that I have on this, and let's see how that transitions. And just remember the lines that the beets have horizontal, and just do a couple random ones here and there. You don't have to do them all over, obviously, but just a few. And you want it to be very subtle, so don't go overboard with the color. And make sure that they're thin as well. Well, the tip, excuse me, that the tip you're using to do these lines are very thin and fine. So you see that effect? I hope you can see it, but it's like very subtle, and it kind of spreads the water around as well. This is still very wet right now, but I'm going to try doing it on here anyways. And this is more of, well, this is not really working as well as it did on the other one. Maybe it needs to, I think this needs to dry some more, because there's quite a bit of water still on here. Sorry, I'm just trying to blend the color because it's still pretty wet. So that's okay. I'll just leave that one as is. And I'll just use the rest of the color that I have on the thin brush to do the, oh look, there's a little bit of a spray that happened. That's nice. To do the branches, the leaves, sorry, branches. Sure, I guess you could call them branches. And the branches or the leaves are pretty standard. It's exactly as I showed it to you. It's nothing different to it. And I'm just going to use the green, this green. But remember how I was saying in the previous tutorial, I'm not a huge fan of this green at all. So I'm just going to blend in some of the yellow, because then it gives it a nicer, brighter look. And I'm just going to go in and very loosely, leaving a lot of white space. Color it in. Would have been nice if the stems were still a little bit damp, then the red would blend in with the green. But clearly I didn't put in enough water for it to, like, it dried up pretty quickly, so it's not happening here. But you should definitely try that, because I think it happened in the previous tutorial, and we'll have a look at that just as soon as I'm finished doing this. I'm gonna put in some of the yellow just for visual interest at the edges. And then going back in the green. I'm going to go and do this one as well. So I touched the tip to the bottom because it was still a little bit wet, and you see how that color just kind of whooped, like picked up and just ran into the green. That's pretty. That's the kind of stuff I like. So I'm just going to put in some highlights of yellowy green in here just to kind of give it some more stuff. And that is how you do these beets. So whichever method you liked, just to give you a quick reminder, these were the other ones, and these are the new ones. So now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to do these guys right here, which are these pears, the cute little pears. So let me quickly shuffle this for you. And I'm going to clean my brushes. Let's just use the same brushes. Why not? Clean my brushes really quickly. And I am using like this brownie yellow mustard, a yellow and a green, to do my pears. So I will start off with, I'm going to start off with this yellow green that I already have going on from the beets. Mixing my color. And I'm making sure I have a lot of water onto my brush. Just cleaning out this area. And now I'm just going to go right in and draw the shape of a pear, which you guys know is kind of like small at the top and like wide at the bottom. Which, amazingly, this is my body type. Pear-shaped. So I have that shape going on and I like it. And so I'm going to go in with some of the brown and just run it by the sides and just give the strokes. More of the brush. And you want to see the browns blending in with the green. And then I'm going to go in with the yellow as well and just kind of spread it around. And literally the beauty of this simple painting is just blending. It's literally all blending. So if you can blend it well, you're having fun or something like that. I'm going to go in with some more of the green. And then this is good. So we want to do the next pear right away. And so I will just, do I have it tipping over? Yeah, I do. I'm going to use more of the green so it blends in. Too much color there. You see what I did? Too much color. It should have more water in it. But that's fine. We can work with this. So this looks a little more fluorescent, so I'm going to quickly try and save this by putting some of the brown in there, and let's just see what happens. Oops, more water needed on the brush. I'm just going to swish it around. The blend in between here didn't quite happen the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. Because it still doesn't look bad. It would have been nice to have, but if it's not there, it's not there. That's fine. It just wasn't meant to be. As long as you have at least a little bit of a hint in the transition or in the blending, you're good. So there you have that variation of different colors in there. And now I'm going to take the black. I've just dabbed my brush onto my little rag there just to dry it up a bit, and I'm just going to take the tip with a little bit of black and just gently do the bottom. In fact, you could even use like a brown for this. I think a brown might work better. I'm not quite sure. It's really a preference. And then just at the top as well, I think I'll mix some of the brown that I have here. Instead of making it like a stark black, make it like a brown so it's softer. Might be too late for the bottoms, but Just using the stem, see? Just very lightly with the tip of your brush. You don't need to press down much. And then just draw the stem. Now this is more dried up, so you don't see the blend like you do in the other one. I'm going to try and hold my hand really still and just like a hairline at the edges so it doesn't look too abrupt in ending, while this is like more of a cute blend. And yep, so that's how you do the pears. And then you could go ahead and do a shadow. And you remember how I did the shadows with the pumpkins, right? So that's a similar style. I just touch a little bit of the bottom and then just have the color kind of blend in by itself, like pulling in the color from the wet pear itself. I'm just moving the color around, guys. Sorry. There was some color at the edge there. There we go. It's pulling in more of that color. Just gonna move that in there as well. And we're just spreading it around. Spreading the green around. I just want it to be as seamless as possible, so I'm trying to spread the water. Now this is literally just water on my brush, like probably very faint colors on there. So I just wanted to have that faded look. Yep, so that is that. And I just want to see if I add a little bit of a darker green to the shadows, what happens. Just so there's a clear differentiation between the actual green and the shadow green. So you can give it a little bit of a hint if you want. It seems to be doing... Okay, that was black. Maybe the black is a little too stark, but maybe use a darker green and then it will give it like a more monochromatic look as opposed to random. Why is there black? All right, guys. So this is it. This is the end of the tutorial. This is how you do pears. And the cheesy title to go with this is going to be... Oh, shoot. I actually forgot. Wow. It's really not coming to me. I think it was something to do with pear, obviously. Perfect pear? I think it's perfect pear. Anyways, I'll definitely be posting it on Instagram, so definitely check out my Instagram to see what the final scanned, digitized version looks like. But for now, you can try your own and maybe even digitize your own. I've taken the liberty to go ahead and document how I digitize these cute paintings of mine and how I get them to be in cards and stuff like that. So please check out my blog, which is on my website. And you know my website, claricegomes.ca. So check it out. And would love to hear your thoughts and comments. And if there's anything else I can share with you or show you, I'd be more than happy. So please ask. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.